Yo, what is up guys, Dark here, and today I'm going to be bringing you my first round match of Smoke on Tour 19, and this was actually against Soulwind. I got matched up against him round 1, which is kind of scary. Soulwind is definitely a very respected player, and is actually, I think, one of the favourites to win Smoke on Tour. So it was kind of scary going up against him in round 1, but for anybody who doesn't know what Smoke on Tour is, I'm just going to quickly introduce it now. So Smoke on Tour is one of Smogon's most hypest tours, and this is mainly due to the fact that it's done live. By this I mean that the sign-ups for the tournament are literally done the second the tournament starts, and there's probably about 5 minutes between the sign-ups of the tournament and round 1 being released to the first match starting. So it all happens really quickly. It's very hype, and basically like the whole structure of the whole schedule of how it goes. Tours are on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. The first week is ORASOU, and then like there's a tournament, an ORASOU tournament hosted on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And out of these 3 tournaments on these 3 days, you can only enter 2. So you can choose to enter Friday and Saturday, Friday and Sunday. You can enter Saturday and Sunday, but you can only enter 2, and they start at different times, as you can see on the screen here, just here, respectively, for the day of the week. And this basically the first week is ORASOU, and then the second week is Black and White OU, and the third week is DPP OU. So all the tournaments are done on the weekend, obviously Friday included. So and then that's repeated 3 times. So this goes on for a total of 9 weeks. That probably made no sense at all. It was kind of confusing for me when I was first learning about it, and it's a lot more simple once you actually like realise what it is and how it works. This tournament also runs off of a point system, where the further you get in each tournament, the more points you get. Say, for example, I'm not 100% sure on what exactly the points are that you get for getting to each round, but I know a couple of them. If you lose in round 1, you don't get any points at all. I'm pretty sure on the last one you got a point, even if you lost round 1, but in this Smoke on Tour 19, you do not get any points if you lose in the first round. I'm pretty sure it's based on the amount of people in the tournament who enter. Getting round 2 is 1 point. I think this is what I'm not sure about. I think getting round 3 is 2 points. It could be 3 points, but getting round 4 is, I think, 3 points or 5 points. Round 5 is 5 points. Round 6 is 7 points, and then I think round 7 is 11 points, and then the winner gets 13. I think that's somewhat what it is, but I'm not sure, so don't like take that as definite. But for each weekend, because I said you enter 2 out of the 3 tournaments, they take the highest amount of points that you got from the tournament. So, say if you entered Friday's tour and Saturday's tour, and you got 3 points in Friday's tour, but you got 11 points in Saturday's tour, they take your 11 points from that and add it to your total for that weekend. And you need 30 to get to playoffs out of the 9 weeks, and out of all the tournaments between ORASOU, Black White OU, and DPP OU. And basically, yeah, all you need to do is get 30 points for playoffs, and then that goes on from there. But I think that's pretty much everything from Smoke on Tour covered, so I'm just going to hop straight back into the replay now. Hopefully that was all clear and everything, so yeah, just going to hop back over. So as I said before, my round 1 match was up against Soulwind, so I'm just going to get straight into this replay. Looking at team preview, I honestly felt that I had the matchup, mainly because Lando aside just puts in so much work against his team. HP Ice's Lando in general is just so good right now, and I absolutely love using it. It just does well against so many playstyles. So basically the only thing he really has for Lando aside is this Latias, and I do have Tyranitar on the back which can pursuit trap this. I honestly wasn't even taking into account Mega, because this is the only thing that can be Mega on his team, because other than Titar, but Titar doesn't really make sense to be a Mega on this team, since it should really be Scarf Pursuit, if anything, and it does end up being that. But yeah, so I wasn't kind of taking into account Mega Latias, which kind of it comes into play later on. That's all I'm going to say, which is kind of funny. But leads, I end up leading Ferrothorn, predicting his Manaphy. I felt that he'd lead Manaphy because otherwise Landorus just kind of gets a kill, and he can't really go out to Latias on it just too carelessly, because I do have Tyranitar in the back which can beat it. and potentially pursue it and just weaken it. So I definitely felt that Manaphy was his better lead here against the potential landers, so I definitely left Ferrothorn, and this means I can just get up my rocks here, which is great. He fishes for a burn turn 1, and he gets it, which is kind of annoying, since it means that I'm kind of forced to heal bell with this if I want my Ferrothorn to, heal bell with Clefable, I mean, if I want my Ferrothorn to check his Manaphy well, since I'm pretty sure it doesn't check burned, even though I do have a Power Whip on this. But he ends up switching out here, which I found kind of strange. The only thing I can really see him predicting was a Power Whip from me, maybe forcing him to go for the rest, I guess. And that way I'd take quite a lot of residual from that, obviously with the burn and the iron barbs. But that's all I can really see him predicting. But I decided to go out Clefable here. Basically, the reason why I Leech Seeded the turn before was if he was Tail Glow, basically I can't deal with him, and I really wanted just a safe switch into something, and the Leech Seed recovery just helps me switch into my unaware Clefable, since if he gets like a Scald Burn, then I'm not really too sure if he can 2-hit KO me. He probably cannot, so I didn't probably need to do that, but I just went for Leech Seed anyway. But like I said, he decides to go out to Ferrothorn, not really sure what he was predicting, but I'm going to take this opportunity to go into my Landorus. Reason why I did this is because, I mean, Clefable beats Ferrothorn 1v1 since it can sort out the gyros, but it can't beat it instantly, and he's just going to get up his rocks here, and going out to Landorus is just a much better play, since I can get a Focus Blast off on something and play some mind games with his Latias and weaken it a bit for my Landorus to come in late game and put in some work. So definitely just going to take this opportunity to go into my Landorus, and going to fire off a Focus Blast here. Not real any reason to predict. If he wants to like stay in for whatever reason predicting a T-Tar double, then go ahead and lose your Ferrothorn, son. But he's definitely not going to do that. He's a good player, so this is a turn where it comes into play and me not knowing if he's Mega or not. Like, I just completely forgot that Mega Latias existed. So I assumed him to be normal Life Orb, and therefore predict my switch out to T-Tar and double, which is why I did go for Sludge Wave. I was not predicting this move whatsoever. But he ends up going for a Roar, which is actually why I went first, because I don't end up outspeeding this Latias. He ends up running out enough speed for Landorus, which is perfectly understandable because his team is so weak to it. But I get forced into Latios, which is great. But at the same time, he does have 2 good switch-ins to this. But I was expecting Clefable more than Tyranitar, because he can't really let Tyranitar take too much damage, because then it doesn't deal with Slowbro as well. And he really doesn't have too much to deal with Slowbro, considering this is a Mega, and doesn't actually beat it, unless it's like Command or something. So I definitely felt that he was going to go out to Clefable here, which is why I end up double switching out to my Landorus, predicting that, since this means I can get off a Sludge Wave on something, and I do end up getting that right. So I can just fire off a Sludge Wave for free here. He can't switch into Latias, since it will go down to the Sludge Wave plus rocks. So he decides to go into Gliscor here. And I honestly thought that he would pivot here to scout for HP Ice. But at the same time, he can't really make that play, because anything he goes out to gets KO'd the turn after. Unless he wants to switch around and let his entire team take damage, he can't really make that play, because if he goes out to Manaphy, that thing... Well, I'm pretty sure it dies to Earth Power afterwards, unless he's running a really, really bulky spread. Obviously, Clefable would die to Sludge Wave. So he can't really pivot, thinking about it again. So I guess he didn't really have much of a choice there. But I get rid of Gliscor, turn 9, which is amazing for me, as Gliscor can be a really annoying Pokemon. But he goes out to Latias here, and I decide to Sludge Wave again. Reason I Sludge Waved again was just in case I outsped, but I guess that was kind of a dumb move on my part, since he wouldn't go out to it if he wasn't sure that he outsped me. So I probably could have gone to Tyranitar there, and he's at a bit more health now, so I'm pretty sure Crunch does not kill from here now. Well, yeah, it obviously doesn't, but so I definitely should have switched out to T-Tar that last turn, but I'm definitely going to Crunch here, since Roost is his best play. Roost or Recover, depending on which he has. This is because Crunch doesn't do enough to KO, and if I do end up pursuing him, then he can beat me, because Pursuit will be doing like 30% or something stupid. So, as I do end up going for Crunch, it's doing like 60, so he can't stay in against me, so I do predict him to switch out to Clefable here, and I switch out into my Landorus. Meaning that I can get off another Sludge Wave, and now this is good for me, since Latias is to the point where Sludge Wave plus Sand damage put it into Crunch range. I do believe Crunch is a roll from here, so after going for the Sludge Wave, I can just switch out to my Tyranitar here, because At 62, it is a roll. Crunch is a roll, whether it knocks him out or not. And I'm definitely going to go for the roll. Definitely going to go for the roll. And again, I do expect a roost here. Since Crunch didn't do enough to where it would KO now, like last time it had done around like 59 or 60, I definitely was expecting him to roost, and just so he didn't want to take like a pursuit or something with me predicting switch out. But I just go for the Crunch, and luckily for me I get the roll, so I was able to take out his one counter to my Landorus that was left. So now Landorus just has so much fun, like so much fun. And just going to go out to my Clefable here, potentially a misplay, but I didn't want Landorus taking damage, because if he was stored power, he set up and beat my entire team here. And I wasn't going to be switching out to Landorus anytime soon. But he ends up revealing knockoff, so I'm pretty sure he does not have stored power, so that's fortunate for me. I was definitely very, very scared there. So that could have been a potential choke on my part, which would have been really bad. Like, really, really bad. So yeah, I was definitely quite scared there, but confident that I can beat him now, so I end up just staying in. I can heal Bell as well, which I did last turn, and now my Ferrothorn is nice and healthy to deal with his Manaphy if it does come down to that. But I do have quite a lot to deal with Carmine Manaphy, to be honest, so I mean that's good. I make another misplay here, just making misplays all over the place. If he did crit me though, a Moonblast, he knocked me out, which is why it was a misplay, since I should have wished that last turn instead of Moonblasting, since I didn't really get any value from Moonblasting anyway. Like, maybe I've done like an extra 20%, but it really didn't matter too much. But he switches out to T-Tar on my Protect here, which is fine. I go out to my Ferrothorn, I do believe, here on the predicted Stone Edge, as he doubles out to Clefable, which is fine. This was a decent play on his part, since Clefable is kind of annoying for me to switch into. My own Clefable is to the point where it can't switch in anymore, because after it takes rocks and sand damage, Moonblast 2 it KOs if he does choose to go for it. And I also don't really want to be switching straight into Landorus just in case it goes for Moonblast, so I don't really want to be taking damage on that. So what I decide to do here is just go for a Gyro Ball. This way I scout, well not scout was not the right word to use there. This way I bait him to go into Soft Boiled, and from there I can go into my Landorus Eye. Since I will be able to beat him if he does Soft Boiled with a Sludge Wave. So that's definitely what I'm going to do here. I was a little scared of him attacking here, but I really didn't think he'd do that and die to a second Gyro for 0 value. That was definitely like a high risk, high reward play for him that I didn't think he'd make. But I can go for the Sludge Wave, does a solid 64, and I'm not sure on the calc of this, +1 Moonblast against Landorus, but if it killed, if it was even a roll, like, surely that was the better play there. I really, really, really felt that Moonblast was a better play there, even if Moonblast didn't kill, it puts me in range of rocks and then I'm forced to defog. But I just felt that he got more value out of me going for him going for Moonblast, sorry. But I guess, I mean, that's fine, because I still knock out Clefable from here. Maybe he was banking on Sludge Wave not doing enough to the point where he could set up on me. That's all I can really see him attempting to do, since I don't know, it comes down to rolls now that my Landorus doesn't have a Life Orb on things like his Ferrothorn, so I mean, I guess that's whatever. He's definitely going to go for Crunch here. This is his best play, since if he ended up like Stone Edging on my Landorus, then my Slowbro just comes in and Calm Minds against it. If he was banded, of course. I wasn't sure if he was Scarfed or banded at this point, and that's why I haven't gone into Slowbro against it yet, because I don't want Crunch doing a clean 60% to me. And Crunch would only do like 30 from Scarf, so yeah, I just didn't want that happening. Kind of forced to Stone Edge here. I'm honestly fine if he wants to go into Ferrothorn. The reason I did Stone Edge is so that Clefable cannot gain its HP back for free, barring I do hit. But he does realise that and makes a better play in going out to Ferrothorn, because I could have also superpowered there against the Tyranitar, but that way Clefable could have just came in against it and gotten its HP back, which I do not want. But just going to go into my Landorus here off the sack, as I can just go straight for Focus Blast here. I was expecting this to KO, so kind of surprised to see him live at 1. But I guess it was a roll that I didn't get, but it's honestly fine, because I can just go out to Slowbro here and just go straight for the Scald. Going for Scald prevents him from like power whipping me or anything on a potential Calm Mind, and I do outspeed him, so if he does decide to go out to something like Clefable, well, if he does decide to go out to Clefable, I can set up against this. So it's honestly looking like it's pretty much game from here. The only thing that could be potentially game winning for him is a banded Tyranitar, which I was definitely scared of. But just going to Mega here to take hits better, to be honest. And go for the second Calm Mind to basically be able to pick up KOs on Tyranitar and Manaphy, and also just to be able to 2-hit KO this. So just going to go for the Calm Mind again here, and I'm going to Soft Boiled here, Soft build here just in case he wanted to switch out to Tyranitar. And if he was banded, he would have been able to KO me with the crunch plus the sand damage, and I would have not been able to slack off against him. So I definitely did not want that happening, which is why I did go for the soft build. But just going to fire off a Side Shock here just to scout how much it does. He gets a drop with Moonblast, which is kind of annoying since it means that I can't 2-hit KO him anymore. So just going to Calm Mind up against here as he goes into T-Tar, which is scary, yeah, because if he's banded, he definitely just beats me. But I'm just going to slack off here, expect him to be Scarf. I'm pretty sure he was Scarf. He should have been Scarf based on his team, as he is, and Crunch does a clean 0. Did you see any damage, guys? I don't think I saw damage. So I'm just going to slacking off here, hoping he doesn't get the drop, and I'm going to Scald this turn. I could get the extra 14% from another slack off, but it's really not worth it just in case he does get the drop and I end up a lot lower. So I'm definitely just going to go for Scald there, and I beat everything at this percent anyway, so it definitely was just the best play. And going to slack off against Manaphy because I can. Nothing it can do really affects me. He gets the burn with Scald, which is, I mean, it is annoying, but I still end up beating Manaphy, so I'm not really too worried about the burn. It just means that he will potentially be able to beat me later on, I guess, with Clefable, maybe. But it's looking a bit glim for him, not gonna lie, but I end up just spamming Side Shock at this point. Since it does 2-hit KO, even if he does want to go for a rest, unless he's, well, no, there's no way he can beat me. So as long as Side Shock just 2-hit KOs like that, then he can't rest up against me and stall me out, so definitely just going to spam Side Shock at this point. He goes up to Clefable here, and again, spamming Side Shock is just my best play. Even if I do go down to the burn, or I'd go for the sack off here, obviously on his slack off, but here is when I mean that spamming Side Shock is the best play. Because Side Shock is doing 65, even if he soft build spams against me, just spamming Side Shock is my best play, because when Slowbro goes down, if it does, it will be at the point where, or Clefable will be at the point where Latios KOs it. And since I am HP Fire Latios will just win from there. So I do pretty much have the game. All I need to do is spam Side Shock, and there's really nothing that Soulwind can do from here. I really don't need to like sack off or anything. Doing that would just prolong the game, and there's just no real reason to. I'm not a preserver, so I just spam Side Shock again and again and again. As he's down to like 9% now, so Latios can definitely beat it with Side Shock, as he does decide to just go for the Moonblast, which is honestly fine, as Latios can just come in now off of the sack, and I can just fire off a Side Shock. Even if he wants to go to Ferrothorn, it's at like 7 or 9%, so it would die. So I basically just sweep a Side Shock here. I decided to just go for HP Fire. I don't really know why, revealing my set, but for like future rounds, so that was kind of dumb on my part, but it's kind of funny. But yeah, that's going to be the game. So I was able to beat Soulwind round 1, and I'll be uploading round 2 some other time. It'll probably be quite a bit later on, since it's going to be quite a while until I can record again. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Leave a comment, like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you next time, guys. Peace.